Before this video starts with the tournament, 81% of my viewers aren't subscribed. I've gotten a lot of likes, supportive comments, and high amount of views with a good amount of returning viewers. You like the content, I like talking to and making videos for my viewers. Let's get our subscriber count high and grow our community. Now, on to the video with my first ever YouTube collab. I just did my first YouTube collab and Pokemon tournament. It was a series of 8 battles with a YouTuber whose name I'll put on screen here. These battles were fun at the beginning, and I'm going to show the battles. I'm going to have a second video after this one of me narrating the battles. What I'm going to do in this video is talk about the battle, show it, and then talk about things I should have done, what he should have done, things of that nature. One thing I want to say now, because we need to build up to it, is while watching this video, pay attention to how the battles are going and what our interactions are like. I'll show the screenshots of things at the end of the video, but right now, just go based off my word, and then I'll show you later. But now it's round 3, and it is in Generation 1. To me, round 1 was pretty easy. I have a lot of experience in Generation 1, and he, even though he's still a competitive battler apparently, didn't do Generation 1 very much. One thing I want you to notice, though, is while we're in Uber's tier, he used Raticate and Pidgeot with the moves Rage, and he didn't go for good movesets on much of his Pokemon. Just something I want you to think about for a second when I say he's a competitive YouTuber. But next is round 2 and Generation 2. Again, another generation that I have high confidence in. So in round 2, again, I did really good. My team was well set up. I did good switches. I did good predictions on moves. I faked out with my Tyranitar to get an Earthquake from his Charizard so I can switch in Zapdos and get a free hit. It was beautiful. And my Heracross did quite well. Again, something I want to say. He is not battling well. His Kangaskhan was a complete wreck, hitting itself in confusion. It was a train wreck, and he fell for quite easy tricks. Again, these are things you need to keep in mind. Now is for round 3, and you guessed it, Generation 3. Now this is one that I was much more concerned of, because again, now we're in Ubers. Ubers is what he plays in, and that means a lot of legendary spam, but from both sides. You can see what I did and what he did, and I think it was a good battle. Round 3 was great. Sure, legendary spam. Who cares? I had Skarmory and Gyarados. I was still doing something. Shut up. One thing I like, though, is the fact that this was the first battle to me that seemed close. Granted, it's legendaries v legendaries. There's always going to be a plethora of knockouts on both sides, but hey, I saw some good strategy. He had a berry that got rid of his Kyogre's paralysis, making me have to throw my Kyogre away. He shut down my strat with Skarmory relatively well, and since I was more focused on coverage than everything, his Rayquaza had super effective moves against mine. But I still won, and it's 3-0. Again, we were going to go to Generation 9, so first to 5 wins would win the tournament. I felt great because I won the first 3 fights in a row. In the practice round, which was in Gen 7, I got the win, which would be 4. Now it's time for Generation 4, and you will see something that really makes me mad, because we had to do a rematch. So it looks like I lost round 4. But here is the thing. We had 2 battles in Generation 4, and I won the first one. However, something very annoying happened. I got a phone call during the tournament. You may think that's no big deal, but for me it is. In my recording software I use, it automatically stops the recording when I get things like phone calls for privacy reasons. And because mainly because like when little kids go to like make like gaming videos on YouTube, they don't want to accidentally like leak phone numbers. It's kind of like built in. Yeah. Sure, whatever. I have a setting turned on where when a recording gets stopped because of something, it automatically deletes. Because something I didn't like is when I had to stop a recording, go back and delete it myself. Because sometimes I would forget and it would ruin the storage on my devices because I would have gigabytes of minutes upon minutes, sometimes hours of wasted footage. Even though he had the recording of the fourth battle, didn't think about giving it to me, and he didn't offer it or anything. So we had to rematch. Round 4 was relatively close. I had 4 Pokemon left, and I knocked his team out completely. But my Pokemon remaining, except for one, were injured. This meant that, yeah, it was decently close. And in the rematch, he just refused to let us switch teams. Like, it wasn't really in my mind at the time. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's just rematch. And he was enthusiastic. He was like, yeah, let's just rematch like right now. I wasn't thinking that he knew how to counter my strategy of all my various setups and moves like Curse on Swampert and things. And they still barely worked the first time. So what ends up happening is in the rematch, I lose. This annoyed me. This angered me. So then we go to round 5, and when it should have been 4-0, it was now 3-1. And he has a recording, at least he should, of the original Gen 4 battle, which means we could have easily just kept the score as it would have been. But no, we had to change it. Now, keep in mind, his teams have been either really bad and made no sense, or it was legendary spam. In Gen 4, he had a pretty decent team. Suicune especially destroyed me. Now, if my Clefable didn't have Ice Beam and had, say, Psychic or Thunderbolt, I most likely would have won because my setup was just that insane. But hey, Foresight, in the rematch he beat me. He knew it only had Ice Beam because he saw it in the original round. So now we're in Gen 5, and this battle is very annoying to me. That was horrible. First of all, when his Pokemon gets knocked out in the beginning and he sets out Zekrom and my Arceus is out, I should have set up when he set up. I would have KO'd the thing. I had Cosmic Power, Swords Dance, and Recover, and Extreme Speed, which always goes first, and it's 80 base power. It was just, it was stupid. That was dumb on my end. When he sends in Kyogre, and I have out my Thundurus Therian, which killed the Zekrom, I should have switched out to my Arceus Steel. It resists his moves, I could have set up with it and used Recover, and Thundurus wouldn't have been so low. He had Intimidate, good moves, it was a good Pokemon that I let get low just so Rayquaza could come in, use Extreme Speed, and knock him out. That was bad on me. Regardless of what I'm about to say, there's a chance anyway I would have lost because I was so cocky, I was playing poorly. However, here's something I want you to notice. Now, this I can't fully confirm. Coincidences exist, but keep this in mind. In his videos, when he plays, you see him literally have gimmick teams from online or from other YouTubers. When he was making his own teams in older generations, which doesn't have much gimmick teams like that you can gather, you see the types of teams he makes, like Uber's Tier, Raticate, using Rage, and set up like Swords Dance when you will never be able to set up Eradicate, and he had Thunder Wave on like maybe one Pokemon. Like, dude, come on. Now all of a sudden, he has God-tier teams. And remember, this is a tournament. We need to use our own teams. Now, obviously, everyone is going to use like a Thundurus or have some form of an Arceus. But when your entire team starts to beat things like that, and I'm using like Blaziken and Cloyster, and we're in an Ubers match where it's legendary spam. Like, I have DMs I'm going to show unless I end up go back on it and I text this guy more. But I have DMs where he literally argues with me about how we just use legendary spam teams. And then when we do, and even when we don't, his teams are, it's annoying. But yes, I lost. Instead of it being 5-0 like it should have been, or even 4-1 because I probably could have lost the fifth battle anyway, it's now 3-2, and it's really getting into my head. I had a great lead of 3. The fourth battle, hey, I won, then we had to do a stupid rematch, which looking back on, we shouldn't have had to do. He had the recording. He can post it right now unless he deletes it and makes up not having it. And then the fifth battle could have been whatever. Now the tournament looks super, super close. I was worried, and then we go into Generation 6 for the 6th battle of this godforsaken tournament. So Gen 6 was a win, and I gotta say, that battle still sucked. He had a strong Talonflame. I was scared of the Chansey. His teams are getting really good, which seems to be completely out of nowhere, but I was able to win with mostly cheese and luck on certain turns. Real quick, my Breloom really isn't performing as good as I wanted it to. I wanted to have a really cool Breloom. It did a little bit, but after this point, you're not going to see much of Breloom. He was kind of a disappointment. So the score is now 4-2. I have more confidence, one more win, and I completely win the tournament. And now we get to round 7, where you really begin to see some BS. That battle was the most annoying. It came down to the very end. I clicked Blizzard, misclicked because my chubby fingers. I clicked Thunder, and I lost with my Kyogre. Also, something you can notice, it was in Ubers again. All of these I wanted to be an OU. He fights me in Discord. We have to do Ubers. I look at his team, and even then I'm begging him. I'm like, bro, come on. At least have like one Pokemon that isn't just a legendary thing from like a website or a YouTube video that you can see and just sweep teams with, because there's no strategy in that. Legendary spams for kids. And he's like, oh, okay, I won't. Mega Kangaskhan is basically God in Gen 7. Anyway. Calm down. Just narrate what happened. So, it should not have been that close to begin with. We had a general understanding. Don't use too much megas. I start with Galvantula for some setup. He instantly pulls out one of the strongest Pokemon in the gen. Yeah, it's whatever. While narrating this battle, we're going to look over the battle so you know how upset I am. This is an OU. I use no legendaries. I start with 2 knockouts. My Galvantula does well. This is balanced. I do Gen 8 often, not for videos, but for literal fun. And he does more recent gens into 3 videos he's made with 3 views each and one with 0 views. Yeah, sure, whatever. Not going to harp on that at all. This is what annoys me. This battle was bad. Not because of anything I'm going to say on him. I lost completely because what I did. His Mew is currently slow. I have super effective knockoff on my Clefable, which can set up and perfectly counter what this Mew eventually did. I stayed in with Melmetal. After I accuse him of having pre-made teams, he then proceeds to say in a quite angry way that I'm an idiot for putting good EVs on my Clefable's best stats. Here's my thing. Everyone knows you should. Except for in rare instances, what you do with your Pokemon is the things that you want them to excel at or do, whether it's be a tank, have an Infernape that's fast and hits hard, etc., you put as much points as possible into those 2 move options. Stat options. When you're in Pokemon Showdown to help out new players, it even says where your EVs should go, in theory. So new players, when making a team, don't get overwhelmed and think, oh, I would just put around 40-something EVs in every single area. That makes things much more fair. Because what that does is it makes your Pokemon bad or mediocre at everything, not good in areas it needs to excel. If you have a Toxapex, for example, and you level up with Eevee's a lot of its stats, congratulations, you went from not outrunning something like a Sudowoodo to maybe you speed tile with it. Everything else sucks because you put things into like speed, for example. That's something Toxapex won't need. So why you try and say that I need to do things like that makes no sense, because no one does that. And if you look at damage calcs or how he was taking and receiving damage, his Pokemon weren't doing that. Why? Because he's getting set teams, in my opinion. Let's look at how he's made teams before. In Gen 1 Ubers, by the way, he used Raticate and Pidgeot with Rage? In what sense does this make? What are you doing here? This isn't like you're playing Pokemon Fire Red or Pokemon Platinum where you can have like a playthrough team. This is competitive and you have Eradicate with Rage? And here's another thing. I said there's 9 generations. We no longer need to go forth once someone has reached a score of 5. So we might not even reach the final generations. I'll battle you with my OU team and see what happens, I guess, because I have some Pokemon with base stat totals of less than 440. He then proceeds to say, for some random reason, you have a score of 4, by the way, with your last point being gotten from a rematch, while mine is 2, and we could do double battles too, I guess. I have no experience besides common gameplay. Again, that's something he admits right there. I go, that's fine. You remember the battle of all gens, correct? So the further we go, the more we've been losing per yesterday, yada yada yada, back to back, doubles would be amazing, things like that nature. First of all, he straight up admits, yeah, I only have like common battle experience. And also the whole like everything needs to be in Ubers, that's just annoying to me. Why are we using Ubers? To me, that's legendary spam. I don't know. This one might be more like subjective. I have no clue. Anyway, I want to end the video off here with just a final message to say to you guys. What I want to hear is your opinions. Do you think I'm in the wrong or he is in the wrong? Do you think I was toxic or he was toxic? Do you think that the score should be 4-4 or should it be 5-3 because we only had to do a rematch because he wouldn't send me the footage? I think it should be 5-3 because, again, you have the footage. I won the battle. Why are you like not sending it and then having us do a rematch where you know my team? Doesn't make sense to me. So tell me in the comments what you think. And with that, again, please subscribe. My percentage of subscribed viewers is very low. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And again, also enjoy this photo of Larry.